Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel Coins Reaction Zone and another Scooby-Doo reaction. So it's been a while since I last filmed a video, but I put in my 2 weeks at my previous job because I got an offer from a different location, and then that's right into the holiday season. So a bit of a stressful time, but I'm finally starting my new job tomorrow. Whenever you see this, at the end of December. So it's finally like my shadow date, and then I go into like orientation slash the academy for the job on the 3rd. So I'm starting a new one with better pay and more hours. So it should be a lot nicer for myself. I don't know how it'll go about for YouTube, but right now this is more of a just a fun thing. So hopefully if I manage my time better than how I had previously, it's because my previous job was a split shift kind of thing. So it was kind of tough on I would usually fall asleep in the middle part or just kind of blow it off just because I was so busy doing like cleaning the house or some other things. But with this new job, it'll be mostly just all the way through on hours, so I'll have a specific timeout. It could be a lot longer since it's kind of a that kind of job, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm gonna try to film as much as possible in between that time before I go to orientation and try to make it at least a couple episodes a week. And I want to resurrect my other channels as well and try to keep those all contained together to make it more fun and to keep everything going since I get focused and stuck on a channel and then I stop it for a while. Then I go into it. So that's the plan. And just a little bit of why I wasn't around because family came over and first time we've been around each other since we all moved to separate areas in like 6 years. So we kind of liked hanging out together and having Christmas together. And I just didn't have time since family was over. But good Christmas. Everybody had fun. So we'll just get right back into the channel and new Scooby Doo. So we have 4 episodes left in the new Scooby Doo movies. I'll be only filming one today and releasing it, and then I'll be doing the rest of them afterwards. I wanted to do like Christmas specials and Halloween specials up for the channel, but I never got around to it either. But I do have some fun plans on like doing like a movie review kind of podcasty solo thing that I will be doing where I'll instead of the Asylum movie, I'll be like watching those movies and then doing like a summary and like a play by play kind of thing. If you have ever seen How Did This Get Made or Yomp, the Yogscast podcast, just those kinds of stuff I really enjoy, and I've always wanted to do one myself. So like I think that'd be a nice concise way to do it because I can still do like drinking game rules for that as well and just other things. So that's gonna be up in the pipeline as well, and that'll be every Friday just to make it'll be easy since it'll only be like a 30-minute video that I can just edit myself talking. But the Scooby Doo reactions will be happening all the same. So without further ado, here we go with episode 5, The Exterminator. It was released on October 6th, 1973, and it's the 46th series episode overall. So this one has Donna Adams as the special guest. He is a famous actor who has become an experimenter in show, but in real life, he was an American actor, comedian, and director. He's best known for his role as Agent 86 Maxwell Smart on Get Smart. He also did the voices of the title characters in Tennessee Tuxedo and His Tales and Inspector Gadget. He was born April 13th, 1923, and he died September 25th, 2005 at 82. And he was a voice actor. This was his only appearance in the show. So here's the summary before we get into the synopsis part of it. As you know, just to remind you guys, since it's been a while, I watched like basically the first 30 minutes and make a summary kind of synopsis thing. It's usually a little bit stilted, but the new Scooby-Doo movies are a bit long, so until we get back into the 20-minute episodes, which this is the only time that's 45-minute episodes or longer, then I will basically stop doing that summary part and just watch the whole thing all the way through because it make it easier for editing to get it down to those 10 minutes for copyright or lower. It's usually a lot lower on these new Scooby-Doo movies since I usually just react to the last 12 minutes that I usually edit down to about 5 or 6 minutes. But once it gets into the other main parts of the series, then it'll start getting a lot more concise. So just tune in for that as we eventually get there, because it's just been very slow going because I also haven't really had the mental fortitude to get through these because I really haven't liked the new Scooby Doo movies. Still decently rated. Like season 1 got a 4.88, so not too bad. But this one has been season 2's been really not good for me. Even though I have a few comments that are saying that those are my favorite episodes or whatever, but just for me personally, just hasn't really hit. So I think we're just going to get right into it with the premise like I was saying. So Donna Adams is working as a bug exterminator who has been contracted by the bank to exterminate insects in the house of old film director Lauren Chumley, who is an actor known as the Man with a Million Faces, who is voiced by John Stevenson, another guy that's been around for a while in the Scooby-Doo movies. He's just been around Scooby-Doo entirely. So Chumley's butler tries to persuade the gang and Don Adams to leave, but Don Adams will not be deterred despite many strange things happening in the house. So we have Don Adams and the butler as our two kind of spooky guys. And there's several kind of ghosts slash enemies in this one. So it's Otto and Lauren Chumley. Several of his disguises bear a strong resemblance to previous villains, including the Wolfman from a gaggle of galloping ghosts and Swampy Pete from the ghostly creep from the deep. And also, and Lauren Chumley is a parody of silent film star Lon Chaney. And the gang also, in the beginning of the episode, drives by the homes of actors Gregory Grant and Stephen McKean, whose names are spoofs of Hollywood stars Gregory Peck, Cary Grant, Steve McQueen. So this is all trivia just from the wiki. And then Don Adams shares the same patterns of Agent Maxwell Smart, a character Don Adams portrayed in the television series Get Smart, in one of his most well-known roles. And I watched the Steve Carell movie version of that one. Pretty funny. I liked it. And then also some of the monsters as well were the cat creature. And then there's Frankenstein's monster, Wolfman, Mr. Hyde, Creepy Man, Bird Creature, Invisible Elevator Operator, Unknown Exterminator, Monster Hand, Invisible Couple, and Sea Monster. So there's all kinds of stuff. A bunch of different things that do come together later on in this series, like Frankenstein's monster, another one of that is very popular. Same with Mr. Hyde that have been around before. So pretty interesting thing that a bunch of kind of characters are coming back or ones that from other famous properties. So here's a little bit of a synopsis. The gang is driving through Hollywood, which I think one of the first times they've been there, even though they're kind of stay based in that area. They come across Don Adams stuck on the side of the road in an exterminator truck, and that's when Don explains that whenever they stop for him that he is running late to exterminate for a house. So the gang volunteer to help, and they drive him to the house where Don hires the gang as an assistant. And we learn the house is Horror Hill and belongs to Lauren Chumley, the famous horror movie star. And that's knocking on the door. We meet the butler named Otto, who lets Don and the gang in, and that's when he kind of explains that the bank is selling their house, and Don's supposed to get rid of all the bugs. And then in there, they meet what looks like a portrait of Swampy Pete, who we saw in the first Harmon Goldberg Powers episode, which I mentioned, Ghostly Creep from the Deep. And then they hide, they get scared by the painting and hide, and that's when they see the werewolf from Frankenstein's monster that looked like the werewolf from a gaggle of galloping ghosts. So there's a lot of stuff happening around, and then paintings come to life. Frankenstein monster and Mr. Hyde come out of them, scare the gang some more. Then we see the fish man, who looks like a fun nod to the creature from the Black Lagoon. And then we see the cat. And then once the cat shows up, then we see Mr. Otto directing it. And it turns out they were trying to get a comeback going for Lauren Chumley, and that they've been secretly recording this like it's a movie so they can get the money to buy the house back from a bank. We're just going to get right into it. So it's a little bit of a pushback. I kind of read a little bit too much for my synopsis, but I rewound a little bit just so we can do the last 10 minutes of watching. So without further ado, here we go. So some stuff that I mentioned will probably show up, but be more concise in the actual episode.
I wonder what's behind this door. I don't care, as long as it's not lockers. Let's take a peek inside, shall we?
What is it? Oh, the popcorn machine. Okay. Yeah, I've already seen this part, but you guys haven't.
His own private popcorn machine.
Unless you. Oh, that's cool.
What's that? Just making shadowgrams.
It'd be so cool to have like a TV kind of room in my house like that. That's the dream right there. If you win the lottery or make a bunch of money. I love watching movies like that.
What's that one, Mr. Adams? I don't know. I'm not doing it.
Is that the cat monster? Oh, Fred.
I've been looking all over for you.
Got attacked by popcorn running out, and now they're in the elevator.
I'm getting out. It's moving.
I wonder where this elevator's going to stop.
I've got a feeling it isn't ladies' lingerie.
Here's Mr. Otto.
Spooks, ghouls, ghosts, and things that go bump in the night.
Please, Mr. Adams, you're upsetting Scooby.
Sorry, Scooby. I was just trying to lighten everyone's spirits.
I liked his kind of deadpan, kind of dry humor. Everybody else is kind of all over the top and like making a joke about it, but he's kind of like, oh, my bad, that kind of thing. It's a little bit nicer than the other celebrities. I love a bunch of costumes and stuff. That's cool. I like that.
I wonder who put it there. Let's investigate. Maybe we can find out.
Well, it was probably stolen from you. It's kind of funny. The two other characters that we were introduced to are the bad guys. Well, there's the invisible elevator operator and the invisible couple. Yeah, there's like 10 monsters in this episode, which is really cool. I really like it. It's a bit cluttered overall, but it's really fun.
Well, why would anybody do that?
My guess is someone doesn't want us to exterminate this house.
It's like a Bigfoot costume in the back with like a kabuki mask in the corner over there on the
I'll
right.
exterminate this house if I have to take on each and every termite one by one. Yes.
I think it's funny though that he still thinks it's termites.
Mr. Adams!
He got thrown into a treasure chest and taken away.
Yes, but what? Let's take a look.
Did Shaggy get swept into the same trunk? And Scooby just ran. Scooby's usually good about going back and protecting. You just saw him get eaten by the trunk, Scooby, and just running. That's interesting. Okay. So he was able to control Bat.
Brilliant, Mr. Chumley, brilliant. One of the best things you ever did. You really think so, Otto? The entire scene.
I like their interactions together.
Finally, Otto, I'm prepared to make my comeback. Once again, the world will cheer and shudder.
Those breasts on that cat monster, though, holy crud.
What's that?
Supposed to be his chest muscles, but geez, that fur is not very flattering on him.
Mr. Chumley. I must have silence.
I do like whenever the monsters interact with other characters or monsters, though. It always makes it a lot more
I
fun.
will turn on the wind machine.
That is a bit creepy, though.
You call that wind? I need a hurricane.
That's how they got captured. That's funny.
Get this pussycat off me. Someone turn off that hurricane.
It's Otto.
And a
That was
monster.
easy.
Not quite, kids. Actually, it's
Otto's
Otto.
huge, man.
Lord Chumley himself?
Oh, that looks like William Hanna.
Don't forget, he's the man with a million faces.
He's the one of the creator of Scooby-Doo and Boomerang kind of area.
Finally,
That's
it's Lord
funny.
Chumley.
I like
Wow,
that.
he really is the man with a million faces.
That's why the bank is selling this house.
But I couldn't allow it to be sold until I finished filming my movie here. It's the perfect setting for a horror film.
I'll buy that.
Once the Hollywood bigwigs see me in this film, they'll realize that the immortal Lorne Chumley is ready to make his comeback.
Yeah, it seems kind of nice. Like, he didn't really make any evilness or money debts or anything. I think he should allow them to release the
Now
movie.
I'll never complete my movie.
And it would have meant a brilliant new career for Mr. Chumley.
Gosh, too bad you can't finish making the movie by tomorrow.
I could, if I had people to help me.
We'd be glad to help you, wouldn't we, gang?
Right.
Of
Yeah,
course we
see,
would.
that's nice. It's literally just helping his livelihood. It's nothing bad.
Finish exterminating.
They're already in the movie
Ready for
being scared.
takedown.
And I love how he's supposed to be like a famous actor, but Otto the butler is kind of already the director. It's kind of like, it's a nice interaction between them because it's usually never that way when there's a butler or anything together. They're always kind of scumbags together. And also, that's like the first animal we've seen that's really had kind of like facial features like a real person. Alright, and that was the end of The Exterminator, episode 5 of Scooby-Doo. I really enjoyed that one, actually. It's not the best Scooby-Doo episode, but I think it's my favorite of the season 2 so far. I really liked how there's a bunch of different monsters. It was definitely cluttered, and there's a lot going on. It was very kind of padded for runtime and stuff, but I still think it was fun. Don Adams was a good guess. I like his kind of, how he got into his role and, you know, just spraying toxins everywhere and just throwing stuff around, and but still being all on the job and all about the job, and like, you know, must be termites, like how Shaggy and Scooby are about must things about ghosts. And I liked his kind of dry humor. It wasn't very funny, you could say, but it definitely had some levity to it that I enjoyed. It is quite lackluster because there's no like real bad guy, but I honestly think that's fun because the previous like 4 episodes have all been, you know, we have this kind of debt. It's just like a smuggling ring, this blah, 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 blah. So it's kind of fun just of like, I don't know, like a happy ending at the end of like, yeah, we'll help you with your movie. Why not? Like, you're in debt. We're already mostly in your movie since you were filming us being scared of you. Like, of course we'll help. And I just think that's kind of like a wholesome ending. It was really fun. And there was also monsters from the earlier eras like Wolfman, and then there's Frankenstein's monsters from like real movies and things. So it's just been really fun, and I enjoyed this one actually. I think I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10, and I think that one won wholesome ending, and I liked it. So I think that's gonna do it for me. Some ending trivia that I didn't read, but I thought was interesting is that obviously, even if Otto and Chumley were behind the hauntings, it would have been nearly impossible for them to play all the monsters, which is pretty obvious, but I still think that's kind of funny and like basically cartoon logic. It was a good one, and I think this one I would definitely recommend anybody to watch. Just not because it's like a typical Scooby-Doo episode, but because there's a nice wholesome ending with lots of monsters to kind of be interested in. And even though it was a bit padded on the runtime, watching it all concise down makes it a lot more fun and just kind of interesting in certain aspects. So I think that's going to do it for me, and I will see you guys next time for another Scooby-Doo reaction. Have a great day.